You laugh.
Okay. Today is a great day made even better by my new friend, Mr. Sam Houston. Sam, I'm so excited you're on the show today. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good, good. All right. So, we today are going to talk about business. Both of us are relatively new in real estate, and I really appreciate the way that Sam has built a brand for himself. And one of the tenets of the show is creative marketing, being somebody who sees marketing as an opportunity to grow yourself and grow your business. And again, just growing a platform of people for name recognition, knowing that Sam Houston is in real estate and this is why. But I thought it would be interesting to have you on the show and kind of talk through your the past year or two of being in real estate and kind of building that brand.
Okay. So for me, I got licensed April of last year,
Okay.
21, and I was dual career. So initially I was in property management, which I thought was so similar to real estate, and little did I know that it was not. But I stayed there for 6 months. Like I literally just let my license sit on the shelf because I could not do both with family at home and this and that. So August of last year, I talked to my wife and I was like, look, for 6 months, I've done nothing in real estate. And I was so excited to get my license, but I haven't done anything. So the only way this is going to work is if I quit my job.
Whew.
Yeah, right. And she didn't tell me at the time. She was like, well, that's what you want to do. But I made sure for 3 months straight, I came home and I complained about my job.
I've been working on this.
Yeah. So for 3 months straight, I was doing it. And I was trying to get her to say, well, quit. And I would throw subtle hints and I'm like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. And she's like, yeah, right. And so then I finally just, I manned up and I told her one day, I was like, babe, I really need to quit and focus solely on real estate. I think I can do this. And it, it was a little scary, but my faith just, it goes so far. And I really believed that God had my back and he wasn't going to let me go without. And he didn't. So the day that I quit my job, I got my first client that same day.
No way.
Yes, they called me while I was at work from one of my ads that I was running, and she said, and that's Miss Jackie, and she said, we've already been pre-approved. We need a realtor. We trying to get in the house. They're in their 70s and they've lived in the same apartment for 50 years. And I was like, I will be there first thing tomorrow to do my buyer's consultation with them. So I did that. They were already pre-approved, which was awesome. I was like, this is God. And you know, everything from there just it went up. It started slow. It started very slow. But since then, putting in the work, everything's just really been working well.
I love that. Okay, so when you got your license, you started off with Keller Williams.
Correct.
What made you choose Keller Williams?
So I did my research and I didn't know how many brokers that I actually knew of. Before I got my license, I was talking to my mom, who's also in real estate with Keller Williams, but she joined Keller Williams because of me.
Yeah, she did.
She just got licensed before.
And now she's going to reap the benefit, or you're going to reap the benefit of your mom.
No, she reaps it from me because she passed her exam before I passed mine. So yeah, so she gets my profit share. Well,
Jeez,
Mom. She doesn't get profit share right now. And she's like, your cap needs to start back over. But I did my research on the best real estate companies to work for because I didn't know of any. And then when I was researching them, I was like, oh, I heard of them. I've heard of them. I've heard of them. And then I narrowed it down to two. We won't name the other one. And I interviewed with both. The other broker that I interviewed with, they sent me over a Word doc for their presentation. And I was like, okay. That would have been fine if I did not get a full blown out presentation.
PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, from Keller Williams and what they offer. And researching, when I did my research, there was Keller Williams and another broker that were the top two real estate companies to work for. And then it was hands down a no brainer which way I was going to go. And I chose Keller Williams because of that.
No regrets?
No. You know, it's funny. I get calls from other brokers' offices, and they try to recruit you, but this guy's not going anywhere. I've learned so much with Keller Williams,
Yeah,
and to take what I learned and to run somewhere else, no, I'm too loyal for that.
I love that.
So
So besides education, what would you say the next best thing about KW has been for
the
you?
culture,
Yeah.
it really is. They talk about it all the time in the team meetings and everything else, but it is really there. I felt accepted the first day I walked in those doors. When I quit my job, there was floor time opportunity available the next day, the following Monday, because my last day was on a Friday. So that following Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there were floor time opportunities. So I signed up for all of them. And I tried to stay to myself and go get one of those conference offices, but it didn't stop people from coming by and talking to me, because I'm very shy. People don't believe that when I tell them that, but I really am shy when I don't know anyone. So I kind of try to keep to myself. But once you know me, and it's just crazy because I as much stuff as I do, I'll talk to anybody. But there's this shy part about me that
Yeah,
people just really don't know about.
absolutely. So interesting. So I'm a firm believer that you are who you hang around. And I think that that's one of the best parts about the KW culture for me is that whenever you sign on, you're made aware of the commitment to camaraderie and win-win situations and kindness within the industry as a whole. Like, I'm glad that you didn't mention the other brokerage because there is room at the table for all of us.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something that I hear preached over at KW more often than not, and I love that about the office. But what I love about going into the office is that it really is like you're surrounded by education and people who are also interested in pursuing their dreams,
Mhm.
and it's their dreams. I mean, it's one of the things that I love the most about real estate is that you can have the dream of being a $1 million producer, or you can have the dream of being a $30,000 per year earner so that your family can go on vacation. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the life of your dreams. And both of those, there's room for both of those opportunities. And KW encourages both of those opportunities. Well, I wasn't exactly planning on talking about KW the whole time, but one thing that, and I said it a minute ago, one thing that I really like about you is that you have branded yourself really well. You do movies and you do a lot of video. You're the neighborhood.
The
Tell us about
neighborhood house dealer.
the neighborhood house dealer. Tell
Yeah.
us about that.
So it was I about 6-7 years ago, I got real big into Halloween because my wife, that's her favorite holiday.
Okay.
So I never used to dress up for Halloween. And then
Love makes you do crazy things.
yeah. So then my older brother, he always dressed up for Halloween, and we're very competitive.
Uh-huh.
So then it turned out to who's gonna have the best costumes. So I made sure I spent pretty good money on my costumes so that I can beat my brother.
Yeah.
Because that's just who we are. And I have a whole bunch of costumes, and I was thinking of a commercial. My videographer reached out to me and was like, "Do you want to do a commercial?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to do a commercial." And he was like, "Well, make sure that it's not a boring real estate commercial. I want you to be creative and use Sam in this
Are you
commercial."
looking for a home? I am Sam Houston.
So I got to thinking, and I also have a Batman costume. So initially I was going to be Batman in my commercial, and then I was like, no, wait, what about Spider-Man? And then I could be your neighborhood house dealer. It stuck with me when I said that. So because I had this Spider-Man costume, that's the commercial that we did.
Mhm.
And now my new tagline, well, it's not new anymore, but when I came up with the idea, was your neighborhood house dealer. So
Okay. So this commercial, I mean, obviously the creativity piece is all you. So like nobody can really like steal it.
yeah, no.
But the commercial, where did it go? Like what if I'm watching HDTV, am I going to see the neighborhood house dealer next?
No, but if you're on YouTube, you may see an ad with the neighborhood house dealer.
Okay.
So I was going to have it play in the theaters here,
Mhm.
but doing my P&L, I didn't budget that to go. And my wife My wife, she lets me do whatever I want. And she put it in my hands and said,
It sounds like you have to give her 3 months warm up first.
yeah. She put it in my hands and said, "Is if that's what you want and it's going to better your business, then go for it." And I just thought, well, learning what I've learned, I don't think that it was a good idea at the time. Now, next year, I have it budgeted for that. So next year, when you go to the theaters here in Murfreesboro, as long as you get there on time, you'll be able to see my commercial.
I don't ever get to the movies on time.
Yeah, well, they tell me that
Trent's like, you don't ever get anywhere on time.
There's
except today, I'm an hour early.
each month it's supposed to make like 130,000 impressions as far as how many people that
Oh
it's in
my
front of.
gosh.
So because they play it before every show, multiple times before the show, so it won't just play once. So it's a pretty good idea.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the kind of stuff that I think, like, did your videographer called you and said, hey, you need to do a commercial, here's some things that we need to do. Like, that's that surrounding yourself by people who are encouraging you and trying to get you to be in whatever the next place is. Because technology, to me, I mean, obviously it's the future, but the quicker you get your hands into it, the easier it is to be able to accept the next thing.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, if I were to be asked, Rachel, would you like to put a commercial on TV? I don't know that I would say yes, because I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube and I watch Hulu and I watch, you know what I mean? Like, I'm on YouTube all the time. And if someone were to say, hey, let's do it this way, let's, get into the YouTube commercials, then I'd probably be more open to the conversation, just because I feel like it's that next thing. And it's that name recognition.
Yeah.
Who's going to forget the neighborhood house dealer?
Right. That was the whole plan from it. And I was happy that he reached out to me and asked me for that. We'll talk about the rest of the stuff here later, but it was wonderful for me. I had fun filming it and putting it out there. So it hit all of my social media platforms, and then also YouTube, and then we'll be in the theaters next year.
Nice. So do you have a history of acting? What's your background?
Yeah. So before there was Sam the Suited Realtor, there was actually Movie Star Sam.
Movie Star Sam.
Yeah, Movie Star Sam. So that's what it used to be. It was so hard for me to rebrand myself and take away Movie Star Sam, because
what were you in?
Well, I was in a there's it's called Lila and Eve. It's with Jennifer Lopez and Viola Davis, and I was an extra in there. It was a little disappointing. You can still see me in the movie in the dance scene, but there was one part in that movie where she grabs me and then hides from the guy that she was trying to hide from.
J-Lo grabs you?
Yeah, they cut it. And then she called me baby on set.
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did. She said, because she stepped on my foot and she said, oh, I'm sorry, baby, and grabbed my hand. And I remember saying, I'm never going to wash this hand again.
It's okay. It's fine. Whatever.
But she's very professional. Viola Davis was, I liked her more because she interacted with us and talked with us a lot more. J-Lo,
J-Lo's J-Lo.
Yeah, she was professional. When we weren't working, when they said action, everything, she was just to the T. Like, this is what she was here to do. So that was the movie that I was in. But I've written stage plays. I mean, I've written 11 stage plays that I had, all of them except for one at MTSU. And then I did one at my last one that I wrote, I did at the Patterson Center here in Murfreesboro. And then a lot of short films and other little things like videos and all that jazz. So Movie Star Sam, it stuck with me, and it was hard. I remember taking a deep breath, several of them, before I changed my social media handle to Sam the Suited Realtor. But it was like, look, we have to rebrand. This is what you're doing now. You can still have your hobby and do filming on the side, but you're a realtor now, and you need to let the world know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, and with video being the future of everything, there's room for Movie Star Sam.
Yeah, I thought so. But I like Sam the Suited Realtor. it's more so me, movie star Sam's background and everything else. It was just like some things had to go. So coming, Sam the suited realtor, I thought about changing it to the movie star realtor. But I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or not. Sam the suited realtor's really been sticking with me.
I like it. So it really does set a precedence for what you have to wear.
Yes.
I mean, you really do have to wear a suit like every day, don't you?
Yeah, every day.
Do you love that?
I do.
Does your wife love the budget line item?
Well, my wife likes to dress down. So if we're going somewhere, she'll have to tell me not to wear a suit. And she's like, I don't feel like dressing. Well, her way of saying not to wear a suit is, I don't feel like dressing up today. And it's like, okay, so I can't wear a suit. You can dress up, Sam, without putting a suit on. It's just, for me, suits. I started saying that I was going to wear suits my freshman year of college. That's when I was writing my first play, and I was like, you have to look professional. So suits for me, I don't know, it's just something I've always been in love with. Like, I used to wear my father's suits, who's like 3 times my size, so they were very baggy. And then but I love suits that much. And then the older I got, the more I just started adding to my collections, my different style of suits, because I love suits. And for me, people just, I feel like a little bit more of respect when I have my suit on, opposed to, being in street clothes, because I do have tattoos. I mean, I have 2 sleeves, but a lot of people don't know that if they don't see it, and they don't judge me for it either. So, people will talk, and it's like, yeah, they'll say whatever. I get looked at differently when I'm not in my suits, opposed to when I'm in my suits. And I love the difference, the way it makes me feel when I put a suit on. I feel really good.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a thing too, is that people respond to that confidence whenever like, I look good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really does work that way. Like, when I put a suit on, and I put my suit on, and I was talking to Mike about this, it's like, when my suit comes on, I'm ready to go to work.
Oh my gosh.
And if I'm lounging and I'm not dressed in my suit, it shows. Like, my work ethics are very differently. So even if I'm sitting at home and I'm doing my lead gen, if I don't put a suit on, then I'm not going to be as productive as I would have been. So once I realized that, it changed my whole mindset.
That's wild. That, I feel like that is the 2020, one of the big lessons and takeaways of 2020. So I got my license March of 2020.
Okay.
I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. Prayed on December 31st, 2019, God, I need a job. Like, I'm ready. I'm tired of being a stay-at-home mom. I was exhausted, and I'm a people person. And like, I needed to get out. And so I had a dream that I was in real estate. Woke up, looked at my husband, said, Nick, I had a dream that I was a real estate agent. What do you think? He said, get your license. So 90 days later, I was licensed and sold my first 2 homes in 30 days.
That's awesome.
It was one of those God things that was just like, this is it. But my stay-at-home mom years, I took Mom, I don't watch Family Guy, but I took a lesson from Lois Griffin. Okay. She literally wears the same outfit every single day. And I know that this is like a Steve Jobs thing, but at the time I was not reading, that sort of high level stuff. But I thought, I want to wear the same outfit every day. So I had jeans and black V-neck t-shirts, and that was it. It was all I wore as a stay-at-home mom. And then once I got the job, I started shopping at the places, and I love shopping now. But I remember feeling so different. It was like, if you look back at Rachel March 2020 versus Rachel today, like I feel like I can see it in my face, where it's like, that girl was not as confident as she is today. Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with waking up and feeling like I look the part, in addition to. So, man, I love that. Okay. So you got your license, you've created the Suited Realtor. This is a side note. Somebody at Rotary the other day, he came in, it was the district governor, and he was talking about how he had a really busy weekend coming up and how as a district governor, life is just really busy and he doesn't have time for a lot of things. And so his wife said, hey, I need you to go and clean I have some leaves that you need to, pile up. The trash is going to have to go out and then we're going to go see the grandkids play soccer. And he was like, honey, like I'm really busy as this district governor and these are the things that I have to do. And then he said, so Saturday after I cleaned up the trash, did the dishes and, or, did the whatever and went and saw the kids, then I took care of what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because we really do as wives have that where y'all come home and we're like, oh yeah, here's the 3 things you need to do. Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna do those 3 things? It was just funny. Okay, so back to the whole real estate thing. Market's shifting. Like we're seeing a lot of change in what's happening. And as 2 realtors that started at the beginning of this like crazy peak, I mean, I feel like we have an especially hard mountain to climb because there's not a history of what the market feels like to know, 90 days on market can be very normal. What are you doing to prepare yourself for a different kind of market?
So for me, I'm reaching out to my sphere. I talk to my sphere almost daily, doing my lead gen, and just the message that I'm sending to them is just pretty much letting them know that I'm in real estate. And with the market shifting, for me, I like it. I had a lot of buyers that I was unable to help, unfortunately, when before the market was shifting because they were getting outbidded by investors or cash buyers or whatever the case may be. And then now I still have clients that are getting outbidded, but it's not as bad as what it used to be. And it allows for me to be able to help more people. So, um, my business, thank God, has not taken a hit with this shifting market that we're seeing. And it's for me, I just being consistent and staying on top of my lead gen and just letting people know that, hey, I'm a realtor. I'm here to help you. Even if you're not looking to buy now or sell now, I can still give you information that you may need for when you are ready. Because with everybody that I talk to, there are so many people that, although they're not looking now, they're looking, 3 to 6 months from now or a year from now. And I remember starting my lead gen around this time last year. Today, like literally right before the podcast, I had somebody reach out to me on Facebook that I talked to months ago, and they're now ready. So it's just those people that weren't ready this time last year have become ready now, which is just great for my business. So, the longer I'm in it, I just remember as we were talking earlier, this time last year, I was twiddling my thumbs and waiting on my next closing to where, now it's a lot more different. God has me set up in a much better situation that I'm so thankful for.
Man, that's awesome. So as realtors, on the other side of this, on the front end, whenever I was looking at what a business looked like as a realtor, you go to school, you learn how many square feet are in an acre, and you never ever tell anybody ever again after the test. Like there's a lot of things that you learn that are useful but do not help you actually run your business. It's it's the compliance piece of it. But as business owner, I mean, we're a business owner, and I loved everything you said earlier, where you were like, I was looking at my P&L, I was evaluating what I needed to do. It wasn't in the budget for this year, but it looks like I have created a budget line item for it next year. I mean, that to me, you are running a business.
Yeah.
What is it that taught you, inspired you, or got you to realize like this is more than just, I make my commission check and then I get to go spend it all on suits.
So that goes back to Keller Williams, the education and the training that we get there. And then also team lead Mike has been great in that aspects of it. I met with him earlier this year just to talk about what my business was going to look like the end of this year to beginning of next year. because my goal, which is going to be for next year, is to have a team, be able to start a team. But I have to be able to provide them with something as far
Right.
as what I learned from Mike. So with him telling me that, and the continued education that we have with Keller Williams, it makes you look at you know us as business owners, because like you said, we are. So being a business owner, you have to be able to have budgets. You can't just spend. I buy my suits on budgets too, by the way.
Buy your suits on
On
budget.
budgets.
Listen, Ann Taylor, Banana Republican, I have no budget. We need a budget.
I wait for specials, buy two get one free. I love those days whenever I get those text messages. So, but that's just Keller Williams just helped me to learn that, because before coming on board with Keller Williams, I was just considering myself just to be a realtor, not an entrepreneur, not a business owner. And then with the classes and all the education, and that is what changed my mindset to know that, yeah, you're a realtor, but you're also a business owner. So
I love it. Yes, I love it. I'm restarting the MREA. So I try to read through it, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I have it bound so that it'll lay flat on paper. And I also have it in an audiobook so that while I'm reading it, I'm listening to it, because if not, my ADHD will run me down a crazy rabbit hole. But what I love so much about it is how it talks about natural ability. And most realtors have a natural ability to communicate with other people, to kind of drum up the business, to be able to do the beginning steps of the actions that are required in order to make your business grow. But there's a cap to that natural ability. You have to practice it. You have to be taught new models and things. And that's what Keller Williams, I think, does so well, is teaching the models, holding the hand so that you can actually do the model, and then being able to bust the cap off of your natural ability, just being able to grow in that. Mary, the other day, we did a business planning, a future planning seminar thing, and it was talking about how people are born with gifts. People have natural talents, but these natural talents have to be developed. You have to craft them. You have to practice them. You have to learn them. I mean, I might have a propensity to play piano, but Lord knows if you bring a piano up here, I'm not going to be able to do it right now because I never practiced it.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting too about business, is that we have to practice those things. So both of us are like, we're both coaching clients in our own. I have a coach, you have a coach. What do you think the biggest benefit of having a coach is for you?
Well, it's what I've heard from a lot of the successful agents in our office is, even the greatest have coaches. LeBron James, I know we're not getting into basketball, but
That's okay. I can pretend.
He's the GOAT, and he has a coach.
Okay.
And just hearing that, I went without a coach for so long. I had group coaching sessions, but then once I hit my cap, I, I got, you know, presented opportunities from other coaches to get a coach. So what that coach does is pushes me and challenges me and helps make me a better business owner. And shouts out to Tabby. and
Woo!
she's great. She keeps me on point with what I need to do, and takes away my limited vocabulary as far as, I'm not saying I hope or I'm going to try. You have to change those words into, I will. And I think that my coach believes in me, if not uh, if not more than me, just as much as I believe in myself. But the continued push that I get behind her is just, it's unreal, to where I know she wants to take that cap and have me blow through the ceiling. And there's just times where I may show up and I did not do as much as what I stated that I was going to do, and there's no excuse for it. Sometimes I can get a little lackadaisical and procrastinate, which is something you have to steer away from when you're a business owner. But we're guilty, we're human, we fall into that sometimes. But for me, it's just the push that I get from my coach is just, it's phenomenal.
That's awesome.
To have somebody like that in my corner, I mean, it's God sent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it goes back to that. We're taught the compliance piece, but we're not taught the business piece. And part of business planning is time management. And for me, whenever I first started, social media was a big deal for me. And I would spend hours and hours. I would be up at night and be pulling these things together. And I would be trying to, create this platform that, I was proud of. And I still am proud of it. I don't regret doing that. What I love is that whenever I got into coaching, they kind of funneled my time and energy and said,
Yes.
you really don't have to do it that many hours in a day. You can do it for this short period of time, get the benefit, and then move on to the next thing. And that was really helpful. I felt like there was something else I was going to ask you about coaching along those lines. Oh, nope. You mentioned capping. And so that was what drew me to my next thought. So we just rolled out Keller Williams, just our market center, and the market centers that are operating under our operating principal, Sarah Stevens, has just rolled out something called the Experience. And it's something new for people who are cappers, which you have to sell a certain amount of real estate in a year. You have to pay in a certain amount to the market center, and then you make 100% after that. Once you do that, then you get to be a part of the experience. And the experience is life-changing.
Yes, it is.
They're, again, running your business like a business, trying to create opportunities to leverage out things, because, you look at a real estate agent and what are they? They help you, with the transaction of buying or selling real estate. It's not my job to buy or sell real estate. It's my job to make your life easier to buy or sell real estate. So I do that piece. I do I'm a marketing person. I'm an accountant. I'm a receptionist. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm all of the different things that go into building a business. A therapist.
Yes, a therapist.
I'm a therapist for myself most of the time. Let's be honest, Sam. You can do it. So what Keller Williams is doing is they're relieving some of the social media marketing. They're posting on our accounts. If you cap, they're posting on our accounts 7 times a month, and then they've got listing packages for us, so that when we have a new listing, it's already branded and done, and we don't have to touch it. More education, but like high level education.
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. I was so mad I had to miss it the last time.
Me too.
I was so bummed, but I mean, like, the next time they let us know this is the date and time, I will cancel everything.
Yes.
It's these really high level teachers. It's real estate on steroids. Like, this is how to be the better version of you, how to make your business go to the next level. Like somebody that you would typically have to pay a lot of money for.
Yes.
And we get it for free.
For free.
I'm so excited. Client events, which is another big deal, creating that, relationship with our clients. And then finally, kind of what we were talking about a minute ago, wealth management, creating a business on paper, calculating the ROI of what you're putting your money into. Is your neighborhood house dealer really, giving you the return on the investment of these videos? How do you know? By writing it down on paper. And a lot of people just don't really do that. So we're going to have a brokerage full of business people who know what their numbers are, who are active on social media, and are good to their people.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because it's, like you said, it's the leverage. In the MREA book, they talk about listings, leverage, and leads, and leverage is my biggest challenge. I like to do things on my own because I know it can get done. So being able to have them jump in and step in and post on my social media, the wealth building, all of that stuff is just phenomenal. That we get. So I'm super excited about it. And I just know that once my cap starts over, I need to hurry up and cap so I can stay a part of the program.
No, you don't have to. Once you're in it, you're in it.
Oh, okay.
Forever and ever. Sam, we're in the club. We did it.
That's awesome.
I feel like we need to chuck a hat.
Yeah.
There it is. No, you're in it forever. Okay. Once you do it once, you're in it forever. And side note, if you're at I won't say that.
Okay.
But if you're interested in learning more, you can let me know and I'll tell you what I was going to say. Anyway, okay. So that's super neat. I love the experience. I love what they're trying to do. I love what they're trying to do. Well, I guess as a wrap up, like what is there like one thing that you've learned over the past year in real estate that like if you had to pick one thing that you've learned? Big questions. Last minute. You got this.
Well, it's biggest thing that I learned. Well, I really learned everything because before getting into real estate, I knew absolutely nothing. The biggest thing that I learned is how much of more so therapists that we are for our clients. We have to be able to walk them through situations, and when things aren't going their way, I mean, each client's going to be different.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I've had clients cry to me. I'm not. If my wife tells it, sometimes I don't show the best emotions when somebody's crying, and that's just hard for me. But getting into real estate helped me through that process because when we were in that difficult market before the market started shifting, there I had clients where we submitted 15, 16, 17 offers for, and none of them got accepted. And it's hard. And it's a great feeling when you get an offer accepted for your client and you get to call them and say, we're under contract.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this business more than anything is we're under contract, and knowing that we did it for them. It's just, I don't know. I've made so many homeowners, first time home buyers. Those are my favorite. Nothing against if you've already owned, but to make someone a homeowner, it's priceless.
Yeah.
It truly is. It's priceless. So my biggest takeaway from that is really just we're therapists and we're in the business of real estate. So yeah, that's what I got.
I love that. I had that conversation. I call it a similar conversation where it's like the client, there's so much emotion that goes behind buying and selling. You're selling a home that you raised your children in. You're selling a home that, you know, I don't know, that you grew up in or that you've spent, whatever you started your first career in. Like it's, special to you, or you're looking to buy that first home or buy, whatever it is that you're looking for. And it's so emotional, and it's a huge financial shift. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of transition that goes into that, earning money, spending money. What do I do with this money? How do I manage this?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be very super stressful. And the job of the realtor is to be the therapist for the client, but emotionless in the transaction.
Yes.
Like that, I am the fiduciary for this. Like it is me looking at Sam and saying, Sam, this is what my client needs. You saying, Rachel, this is what my client needs. And then our clients coming to an agreement, but the two emotional parties are not involved. And as agents who get emotional, get involved, things start getting sticky and hairy. But my favorite is when it's like, when it's a deal that has a lot of negotiating and a lot of, giving and taking and trying to find that win-win and working with somebody who is at the table for a win-win.
Yes.
It just feels so good at the end of the day.
Oh, I know it. I love it. I love it. I'm currently not hoping, Sam. Tabby's gonna get you for that.
Yeah, and it's been recorded live. So
I am currently working with a client to where we are gonna get this accepted, and it will be a win-win for both sides. And he's not a believer. I told him, I said, look, he says, he tells me every time we talk, he says, Sam, you have more faith in this than I do. I don't know. I can't see this happening. And I'm like, look, Captain, you got the right guy on your team. I'm going to negotiate it. We're going to get this thing done.
yeah.
And to get it done, it's just what I didn't know is that how little it can take for you to purchase a home as a down payment or closing costs or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can show other people that, and, instead of going out and putting a $2,500 deposit down on a security deposit for rent, you can use that, especially in this market, and pay your earnest deposit. And then, if you got a good enough agent, they can get you that check back at the closing table.
Yeah.
So that's just that's another thing that I really learned. The tricks and tips that we get as realtors, the longer we're in the business, we kind of figure them out.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could do it on your own.
Yeah.
But you could probably keep a lot of money, save a lot of money, end up better off in the long run by using somebody who does it on the daily.
Yes.
I love it.
So true.
Thank you so much for coming today, Sam.
Thank
I
you for
really
having me.
appreciate it. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you next week.
Bye, guys.